Hello, it's Saturday the 19th of September. You're tuned in to our 6 p.m. newscast coming to you from Arirang's news centre in Seoul. It's very good to have you with us. I'm Mark Broome. Our top story this evening: after long debate in Japanese parliament, lawmakers have passed Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's controversial security bills. The bills will let Japan's military provide much greater support to its allies and, in particular, the United States. Opponents say that violates Japan's constitution. The Korean government is urging Tokyo to be transparent when implementing defence and security policies from now on. Kim Min-ji reports.
Japan will not be able to exercise its right to collective self-defense over issues related to the security and national interest of Korea without the Korean government's request or consent. That's according to Seoul's foreign ministry, which says Japan must implement defense and security policies with transparency and in a way that it contributes to regional stability and maintains the spirit of the country's post-war pacifist constitution. The remarks come in response to Japan's passage of controversial security bills, which will allow the deployment of troops abroad for the first time since the Second World War. Japan's upper house of parliament, led by Abe's ruling coalition, passed the 11 security bills with 148 lawmakers voting in support and 90 against. The government says the changes are necessary to meet new military challenges, including those posed by China. After the bills were approved, Abe told reporters that they were vital to protect the people's lives and peaceful way of living and to prevent wars. The legislation, however, didn't come easy, sparking massive protests, with critics saying the bills violate the constitution and could lead to Japan into U.S.-led conflicts overseas. Tens of thousands of demonstrators rallied near the Japanese parliament, demanding Abe resign and scrap the war bills. Abe now has what he wanted, but at what cost? The opposition has vowed to continue holding large-scale demonstrations, and the bills could deal a blow to Abe's popularity at next year's election. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.
China has made one of its clearest calls yet for North Korea to lay down its nuclear weapons and for all sides to implement UN resolutions against the regime. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi's comments come as Pyongyang has indicated that it may launch a rocket on or around October 10th to mark the 70th anniversary of the founding of its Workers' Party. Any launch would be a ballistic missile test dressed up as a rocket launch. The North is banned from such tests under UN resolutions. Now, without directly mentioning a country by name, Wang said any attempt to disrupt regional peace and security is unjustified and undesirable. He also reiterated Beijing's long-standing view that all nations involved in the long-stalled six-party talks on North Korea's nuclear weapons program must sit down as soon as possible. Counterfeit money has long been a serious problem in China, and it appears to be getting even worse. The main reason is that in mid-November, the Chinese government will introduce new 100 yuan banknotes, which will be much harder to forge, so the counterfeiters are pretty much working overtime right now. The rising number of dodgy banknotes is affecting Korea as well. 6 Korea-based banks say they've detected 140 cases of counterfeit 100 Chinese yuan notes so far this year, and more than half of that total have been since June. An official said he expects more forged bills to enter Korea, with the extra influx of Chinese tourists expected to come to Korea during a big national holiday next month. Google is a company accustomed to being recognized for its many achievements. It's added another accomplishment to its growing list, being named the top dog in terms of corporate responsibility. The Reputation Institute says Google ranked #1 for a second year in a row, thanks to its countless environmentally friendly initiatives, its efforts for workplace diversity, and its dedication to expanding internet access. Google finished well above second-place BMW. Disney, Microsoft and Lego were some of the other companies that made the top 10. The list shows 2 of Korea's biggest firms still have quite a way to go, though. Samsung Electronics just scraped into the top 20. Its local rival LG Electronics, a lowly 94th. Hyundai Motor has won plaudits from US Congress, not for its car designs or safety features, but for the Korean automaker's almost 2-decade-long campaign to raise awareness of childhood cancer. The 99-member Congressional Pediatric Cancer Caucus submitted a statement this week praising Hyundai's Hope on Wheels program. This statement was officially included in the congressional record. Hyundai launched this anti-cancer campaign back in 1998, and the way it works is pretty simple. $14 is added to the fund every time Hyundai sells a vehicle. Now, it might sound small, but the accumulated donations have totted up fast. Total donations under the program have exceeded $100 million now. As well as raising awareness, the money is used to finance the development of medicine and treatment. Now, the Korean language will become a compulsory subject in France's university entrance exam. French President François Hollande made the remark while meeting with Korea's Prime Minister Hwang Kyo-ahn in Paris on Friday local time. Hwang is in the French capital for a 5-day trip to mark the 130th anniversary of diplomatic ties between the two countries. Students taking the baccalaureate will be able to choose Korean as a second language among some 30 others. Currently, Korean is on the third language list, which is not mandatory. Now, it's the latest hot trend, colouring books for adults. And these days, more and more grown-ups are turning to the childhood staple and other types of art therapy to relieve stress and just to find some inner peace of mind. Our Park Se-young has the details.
Brush strokes here and there give the wall a complete makeover. It's cheaper and easier to paint a room than it is to wallpaper it, which is why more people are giving it a try. And if you can't find your perfect color from the already wide range, you can create your own ideal shade. It's not only a fresh change of pace to change the color of your walls, it's also said to have psychotherapeutic effects.
Shades of blue provide emotional stability and are good for improving concentration. Pink is a good color to snap you out of the blues.
Coloring books for adults played a key role in causing the art therapy sensation. The move was started last year by the popular coloring book from the UK, Secret Garden. Since then, dozens of similar books were published every month, totaling to over 200 coloring books just this year. People can choose from a diverse range of subject matter and use various mediums from watercolors to crayon and pencil.
I was hesitant about coloring books at first, but I was drawn to their tranquilizing effect.
Even experts recommend coloring as a stress reliever. And now you don't need paper or color pencils. Thanks to new smartphone applications, coloring is just a few clicks away. Park Se-young, Arirang News.
Now, well over 1,000 people gathered in Korea's southeastern city of Gyeongju today to take part in a new grass-cutting festival. The event is a twist on a traditional ceremony called Bolcho, where you cut the grass and tidy up the graves of your ancestors in preparation for Chuseok, which is one of the most important holidays in Korea. Now, instead of family graves, Gyeongju residents were invited to come and help tend to the royal tombs of the Shilla dynasty. Participants were given a pair of gloves and a pair of scissors as well to perform the task, as you can see there. It was such a success that organisers planned to make it an annual event. Gyeongju was the ancient capital of the Shilla kingdom, which ruled over most of the Korean peninsula for more than 1,000 years. Korea went through one of its worst droughts in living memory this summer without much rain, even during the monsoon season. But the unexpected hardship for farmers has left them with something sweet in the end. Our Won Ji-yeon tells us more.
This summer was a scorcher for Korea. According to the country's agricultural agency, Korea saw nearly 990 hours of sunlight from June to August, about 20% more compared to last year. That's the longest period of daylight for Korea since 2011. The agency says fruit harvested this fall is much sweeter than fruit from previous seasons because of the extra sunlight.
The sun's heat speeds up photosynthesis, the chemical reaction where a plant's leaf produces starch. When a fruit ripens, it converts the starch reserves into sugar, which increases the sugar levels in fruits.
The sweet yields have arrived in time for the Chuseok holiday at the end of this month. Chuseok is one of the biggest Korean celebrations where people exchange gifts like fruit baskets. The agency says this year, families will get to enjoy the sweetest apples and pears they've tasted in years. Won Ji-hyun, Arirang News.
And finally, leaving you with the weather for the weekend. And it was another, and continues to be another, beautiful early autumn day and evening across most of the country. We're going to see temperatures dip to 14 degrees Celsius in Seoul overnight, so you will need to keep a jacket handy if you're heading out. Sunday will bring more of the same as Saturday, with plenty of sunshine and daytime highs nationwide in the mid-20s. With that, let's take a look at the weather in your part of the world. Well, that's all we have for now. Do enjoy the rest of your Saturday wherever you're watching us, and stay tuned to Arirang TV. We'll be back with our next newscast at 10 p.m. Korea time. Until then, goodbye.